Hey guys! So let's just jump into this week's episode recap. This one was part 1 of the season finale for Awkward for this season. And they are all on a little spring break turn-up trip. So everyone's on this trip or whatever. And right before Jenna gets there, she finds out that she did finally get into school. She's going away to a college. Well, I don't know if she's going away, but she got into college. And the name of her school that she's going into is Wyckoff. So she is officially going to be a college student. And this episode, we kind of really see Jenna kind of make some moves, so to speak, and just kind of switch things up as far as, you know, trying to leave high school days behind and just kind of move on with her future. And you'll know what I mean by the time I finish recapping this episode. So let's just jump into Jenna's little segment. So Jenna planned to meet up with Maddie to meet Maddie's dad or whatever, because we saw in the previous episode that Maddie's dad has been found by Maddie, and he's like this surfer dude. He owns like surfboards or whatever. So, you know, when Maddie told Jenna about, you know, his whole dad situation, Jenna pretty much agreed to be there by his side and go with him to meet him. So they have these plans to do so, and right as they're getting ready to leave, guess who walks in? Gabby. And Gabby's like, you know, oh, you know, I want to just be there for you and your dad, and, you know, I want to help you get over this situation and help you, you know, just pretty much be there for you when you meet your dad type of thing. And Maddie's like, okay, you know, he's like mouthing words to Jenna saying like sorry, you know, because obviously Gabby's still his girlfriend, so he's gonna take her instead of Jenna. So that whole thing went down, and then Maddie meets his dad or whatever, and it's not really the best situation. You can definitely tell that Maddie like wants to talk about it, but he doesn't really feel comfortable talking about it with Gabby. Who he really wants to talk about it with is Jenna, but he's not able to talk about it with Jenna because he feels bad because Jenna's not his girlfriend, Gabby is. So we kind of see that play out throughout the episode. And then things kind of get really awkward when Maddie makes a return from that trip of seeing his dad. And, you know, he pretty much is like, you know, you got to leave because Gabby is on her way. And I don't want her to see you, you know, coming in here talking about the dad stuff with me. You know, that's her job. So Jenna pretty much decides him in there. She's like, you know, peace, bro. I'm over it. Like, you're going to shut the door on me? Well, I'm going to shut the door on you. And also earlier that day, Jenna was just kind of roaming around. Or was that the next day? I don't remember. But she actually did meet someone while she was on the beach. And it's this guy. He's like in the Marines. And he's very mature. And he's pretty much a possible love interest for Jenna. He just seems very mature. She even said like how they were the same age, but he seemed so much older than her. And, you know, she's really just kind of thinking, hey, you know, why not? I might as well just go ahead and move on. So she's flirting with him and stuff. They exchange numbers, and they talk about meeting up again in the future. So then other things that happen in this episode, Lissa is pretty much wilding out, dissing Jesus, talking about she needs to just kind of, or she's fallen into sin and she's in love with it, just all this crazy stuff. And she tries to pretty much be like this hardcore party girl. You know, she's smoking weed, she's drinking, she's trying to get down and dirty. Like, she's just being just bananas pretty much, because she just feels, since everything that's happened with her dad being gay and everything, she just feels like she just wants to rebel at this point. So she invites Tai down, who's the African guy, to come down to spring break too and party it up with her. So he comes down, and I guess, you know, she decides that she finally wants to do it and have sex or whatever. And they do it, and it turns out that neither one of them wasn't really feeling it. So they pretty much decide to part ways. And, you know, it's just kind of like, serves you right, girl, because you need to slow your roll a little bit, you know, just kind of, you're acting a little cray-cray, so just kind of back off and just kind of, I don't know. That whole thing was just kind of weird. So then, the other thing that happened this episode was Jake and Tamara find out that they're famous in Japan because of that video that they created, which I believe was last season when they broke up. And then they kind of, you know, since they discover that they're famous in Japan or whatever, they're like, oh, hold up, wait a minute, you know, let's create another single, you know, let's see if we can rekindle our romance. They just go into this whole nother tangent, whole nother world. They're just ready to just kind of take on stardom in Japan. So then, the video that they created that's gone like viral in Japan or whatever, Tai knows Japanese, and he agrees to like read the comments for him or whatever. So he reads the comments, and then pretty much they're being made fun of in the comments. So they're pretty much famous for a good laugh and just a funny video gone viral type of scenario. So they're not even really famous. So after that, they pretty much, you know, start dissing each other and stuff again, and go separate ways, whatever. They're like, okay, whatever. So then, the other thing that happened this episode was Sadie was like being really bogus to her boyfriend. What's his name? Sadiq or I don't remember his. Oh, Sergio. She's been like really bogus to Sergio, whatever. You know, just like dissing him, talking about how she can't wait to leave and she can't wait to get out of this small town. You know, whatever. Just dissing them basically. And you know, Sergio's just like not cool with it. But, you know, he still stays with her for the time being. Alright, so this is going to be part 1. Part 2, spring break. I'm about to recap now, so make sure you check out the second part of the video if you are interested in seeing what happened in part 2.